Ronda Rousey's issues with WWE executive wasn't the only reason she left, says wrestling veteran. Hi lovely viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Lima. Hope your day is so well. If you like the video and subscribe the channel. Ronda Rousey openly denouncing WWE executive was really scratching the surface of the issues she had with the company, according to wrestling veteran Vince Russo. On the latest episode of The Wrestling Outlaws, current NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3 and former WWE writer Vince Russo spoke in depth about Ronda Rousey and her negative comments towards WWE, especially her calling wrestling an intense performance and not a sport. According to Vince Russo, the issues with WWE executive Bruce Pritchard was one thing, but he believes the fact that she was an athlete with a regimented schedule made it difficult for her to adapt to the on-the-road lifestyle of the company. She had a really bad experience. I don't know, obviously there were issues with Bruce Pritchard. She had a really bad experience. I think, and I said it way back then, I think what happened with Ronda was, when she was training for an MMA fight, she was going home every night. She had the same routine every day. She ate meals at the same hours every day. When she signed up with WWE and started going on house shows and on the road, that's a totally different animal. All of a sudden, you take an athlete that has a regiment they follow every single day. To be a champion, that's the regiment she had to have, where I guarantee you it was the same every day, said Russo. Russo thinks Ronda Rousey wasn't in it for the long haul and had no idea what she was signing up for. Now all of a sudden you're going to go on the road and it's like, when am I going to work out? How can I eat correctly? When am I going to be home to see my family? And honestly, she probably spoke up about that because she was probably having an issue with it. What EC3 just said, come talk to me about a part-time schedule. You've got to be in this for the long haul, and the reality of it was that she probably wasn't and had no idea what she was signing up for. However, current world champion admits Ronda Rousey is 100% right about recent comments she made about WWE. Ronda Rousey had been doing some media rounds, and it appeared that almost everything she said was against WWE and her time in the company. Current world champion EC3, however, admitted that she was right about one thing. One of Ronda Rousey's comments was that she called wrestling/WWE an intense performance and not a legitimate sport. Of course, this is true because wrestling has predetermined outcomes while requiring its performers to train like athletes, maintain their bodies like athletes, and risk physical injury every time they step into the ring. On the latest episode of The Wrestling Outlaws, current NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3 admitted that Rousey is right about calling wrestling an intense performance over a sport. Of course, Ronda Rousey is right. It's not a sport. A sport dictates it's a competition where you're legitimately competing against each other. I don't want to get into the rumors and innuendo that UFC has pulled some strings and manufactured results for better business, but she's 100% right in that sense. It's the most intense performance one can do. The physicality is real, we are athletes, it is athletic, and the risks are super high and more so that majority of sports. I don't know how many people were going around the WWE locker room, saying to Ronda Rousey, who is a UFC champion, that this is a real sport. And maybe she's embellishing one person's opinion, but she is correct. It is a very intense performance. EC3 went on to state that competition in wrestling isn't in the ring, but rather outside of it. The competition, though, lies not within what you do in the ring and the wins and losses, but competing with your peers for spots and opportunities. The really toughest part of it is the competition you have with yourself and the mental wear and tear.